Hey guys, it's Phantom here, and welcome back to a brand new video, everyone. So in today's video, we are going to be reusing old video ideas in an attempt to entertain the audience on my channel. Anyways though, yes, today we are going to be talking about the most nostalgic areas in all of Wizard101, at least in my opinion. And before we head into the list, I just want to preface this by saying that the most nostalgic places for me probably aren't going to be the most nostalgic places for you. These are just the places, in my opinion, throughout just playing the game. They've kind of just, I suppose, stayed in my memory in a particularly happy place in my memory, where I kind of just look at them through rose-tinted glasses. So it really just depends on everyone's different memories of the game. But anyways though, I know I did do the same video as I mentioned at the beginning about a year or two ago or something like that, but my opinions have changed a little bit since then, and I think you will come to find that there are a few different places on this list. But anyways, let us head to the first most nostalgic place on this list. Also, if you guys haven't noticed, I actually did change back to, where is it, classic graphics. I changed it back onto classic mode just because, you know, we are talking about nostalgia right now, so I thought it was kind of an important thing to do. Just because Wizard City is like one of the most nostalgic worlds in this game, to say the least. But definitely one of the most nostalgic areas inside of that is going to be Storm Drain Tower on Triton Avenue, I guess not Triton Avenue, the Haunted Cave. Yeah, that's right. It's gonna be the Storm Drain Tower in the Haunted Cave, everyone. The tower that contains the boss, Lord Nightshade, the final boss of Wizard City. And the reason why this place is so nostalgic for me is, well, first of all, defeating Lord Nightshade was a really pivotal moment in my Wizard101 career, seriously, because then right after that, I remember just going to Crocotopia, and my journey had just continued, and I was just having a ton of fun. But another thing that I used to do as a kid is I would come here pretty much solely for the reason that I really enjoyed the scenery. I'm not really sure why, but something about this specific area right here in the Haunted Cave as a little child just sort of piqued my interest, I suppose. And just taking a look at the cave right now with the classic mode graphics on, I mean, it doesn't look that impressive at all. Kind of looks bad, especially toward the end of the cave there, like the ceiling and the walls. It doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But for some reason, this area in particular, as a kid, I would just revisit a lot. I would go past these gravestones, go past this tree here, collect this mandrake. Well, actually, I'm not sure about the mandrake. But I would come here and I would just look out into the abyss, pretty much. I guess this was just a really cool viewpoint, in my opinion. So yeah, I've got a lot of memories coming back here and just doing whatever, I suppose. Just chilling, vibing, I guess. There's no real good way to explain it. But yeah, that's just one specific memory that I had. That is definitely one of the biggest reasons why this place sticks in my head. So yeah, that's going to be it for Storm Drain Tower, everyone. Now, I am very surprised that in the last iteration of this video, I actually did not put the commons on this list. At least I don't really think I did. I'm just taking a look back through the timeline of the video right now, and it does not look like I actually put the commons on this list. That's kind of surprising. That is a little bit surprising just looking back at that video now. I would definitely change that, and that's what I'm here to do right now. Yeah, coming up next is going to be the commons. I feel like this one doesn't really need much of an explanation just because of the amount of time that so many wizards have spent just throughout the commons. I mean, God, just having the old graphics on just brings back all of these memories that I have just for the area. It's insane, honestly. It's insane what turning on classic mode can do. Just to your mind. It fucks with my head, man. It fucks with my head. What can I say? But of course, I have a ton of great memories in the commons. Just meeting new people, asking for help on quests, seeing all those people throughout the commons, just asking for a boyfriend or girlfriend. It's very weird times. I don't really think that happens as much now. The commons has definitely changed. If that's for the better or for worse, I mean, I don't know. I'll leave that up for debate, I suppose, in the comments down below. But yeah, I just have a ton of memories here, chilling with my friends back when I actually had real friends that played Wiz, real life friends, that is. It was some good times, definitely some good times that I had spent in the commons, really just doing all sorts of things, kind of like reminds me, I suppose, of the time when I actually didn't have a membership in this game and I could only explore Wizard City. The Commons was definitely a place that I would go to most. I would go to the fairgrounds from time to time, meet new friends, go into the headmaster's office. For some reason, I don't know why I did this. Actually, Actually, I think I do probably know why. I would come in here to this room in particular with the crystal showcasing the model spiral, and I would just look at the spiral and look at all the different worlds that I could never explore. Yeah, it was kind of sad when I actually think about it, but that is something that I did, something that very much sticks in my head, and I definitely don't regret a second of it. Funny thing actually, since they had changed the quests in Triton Avenue, they had changed the side quests, the main quests, and everything like that. They also changed the Kraken quest and how you actually get there, so the teleporter up there that you used to use to get to Sahome or Sunblade, and then the teleporter that you would use from there to get to the Kraken is no longer there, and I don't really feel like doing the quest to actually get down there. But anyways, coming up next is going to be the Kraken's little area right here. In Triton Avenue. I'm sure this has got to be like one of the most nostalgic places for pretty much most people in the game that had at least quested up to the point of Triton Avenue, because this was a boss that people had farmed time and time again for many years, pretty much ever since like the start of the game. The Kraken has just been an absolute icon. Probably should have put him on the most iconic characters list, but the Kraken, seriously, very iconic boss. I just remember the countless hours that I had spent farming the Kraken with friends. Whatever loot he dropped, it wasn't very good. I don't know why people actually did farm the Kraken. Definitely for fun. That was definitely one of the main reasons. Maybe he dropped some... I'm not really sure. Maybe he dropped some one-day mounts or something like that that people wanted to farm for. I'm not really sure, but I know the loot wasn't that good. Definitely was not worth the time that we had put into it. But the Kraken... I really don't know. I mean, he was definitely one of the hardest bosses in Wizard101, but pretty much it was a very easy fight, because every time you would come down here to this little area where the Kraken had resided, you know, he'd been there, and it'd be full of people. The area would just be totally full of people, the battle circle, yeah, people everywhere, and it would kind of be hard, actually, now that I think about it, to get an audience with the Kraken, to score an audience with the Kraken, just because there were so many fucking people here that, you know, and 4 people in a battle, it's not that much, so it's just, it's not easy. It's not easy when you got about 20 people waiting for their turn, and people didn't take turns, mind you, so it was kind of just a brawl to see who would actually get, you know, the chance to defeat the Kraken and get whatever special loot that we had been farming for during those times. I'm not really sure, but definitely one of the most nostalgic areas for me, just because of the countless memories I had spent here as a kid. But that is enough about the Kraken. I talked about him way too much. Let's move on. Coming up next on the list is going to be the area of Old Town. Now, I promise this is the last Wizard City area on this list, don't you worry. But more specifically, though, more specifically than Old Town, the specific part of Old Town that I'm sure most wizards actually remember, and that is going to be hitting the paywall. Now, I had this on my last list. I had this on my last list just because of the important part, in my opinion, the most important part, arguably the most important part of the wizard's journey is going to be hitting the paywall. Now, why this is so important is literally, so you'll do your quests in Unicorn Way, right? When you first create a character, you'll do your quests in Triton Avenue, the free area that you get, and then of course the wizard unknowingly, you know, tries to stumble into Cyclops Lane or Firecat Alley or whatever, only to discover that the area can only be unlocked with a purchase of membership or crowns. And then pretty much the next decision that they make dictates whether they will be playing this game for the next decade or not. And that is whether they will choose to purchase those membership or crowns or not, or refuse to spend money on the game. The decision that the young wizard makes at this moment in time literally determines whether they will continue playing the game at all. Or maybe you could be like me and spend a whole year wandering Wizard City just without any sort of membership or crowns or anything. But yeah, really though, of course I did put it on the list of most nostalgic areas because Old Town is the area that contains the paywalls. And you know, when I do hit those paywalls, I always get a sense of nostalgia, and I kind of wish I logged into a new account so I could show you guys what the paywall's like. Of course, you can see I just go into Cyclops Lane here because I'm about to cancel my membership for a video that would make absolutely no sense. But just the nostalgia that comes with hitting the paywall, it's just something that you'd see as a child, whether you have good memories of it or not. It is a thing that happened to you, and everyone has a memory of it. So that is why I put it on this list, because it's definitely very nostalgic. But yeah. Anyways though, that's gonna be it for the areas in Wizard City. Let's move on. Okay, so coming up next is going to be the Croco Sphinx. So this is the area that of course you need to go onto the boat to get to. So yep, here we are in the Croco Sphinx specific area in Crocotopia here. And the reason why the Croco Sphinx in particular is so nostalgic for me is, I'm not really sure why, but once I finished the Pyramid of the Sun, this was of course my when I first quested through Crocotopia when I was a little kid. When I completed the Pyramid of the Sun, I had always wondered what was on this little island up here. And then when I got the quest to actually go up here, I was really freaking excited. But of course, when I did actually try to board the boat to get to the Croco Sphinx up here, I hit the paywall. I hit the paywall once again, so I guess that kind of ties back into the other area, I suppose, of just dealing with the paywalls and everything, because back then I didn't have a membership either. I would purchase every single area with crowns, but anyways though, I did hit the paywall, and then I had it was a very specific memory. I had a dream that same night, and of course I didn't actually make it to the Croco Sphinx because paywall, right? I had a specific dream that I had actually gone to the Croco Sphinx, and I had a great time there. And then in the morning, I had asked my mom actually to buy me crowns so I could go here eventually, because I mean by that time I already made a few Wizard101 purchases. And yeah, so that happened, and of course I ended up having a great time because I was a little kid just questing throughout this game and I had reached a new area. Yeah, that's pretty much the basics of it. I don't know why that memory sticks in my head so much. I guess it is because I had the dream and whatnot. Ooh, let me get this stone block right here. But yeah, that's pretty much it though. I doubt anyone else is going to have this on their list just because of how oddly specific and weird that memory is. But yeah, that is something that has really been with me the whole time. Very much a callback whenever I quest throughout Crocotopia and reach the Croco Sphinx. You know, very interesting callback to that memory. But yeah, that's gonna be it for the Croco Sphinx, everyone. Let's move on. Alright, so coming up next on the list of the most nostalgic places is going to be Northgard and Grizzleheim. Now, honestly, I could put the entire world of Grizzleheim as just really one of the most nostalgic places all in all in this game, but if I had to pick a single area, it would definitely be Northgard. Now, Grizzleheim, of course, is one of the most nostalgic worlds in my opinion, but the reason why Northgard stands out the most is pretty much it is the first area that you enter when you enter Grizzleheim, pretty much for the first time as part of the, I don't remember what level you actually get the quest at, but there's a little Grizzleheim quest. I'm not sure if it's a prerequisite quest or not, and that you actually need to do it to enter this world, but there's a quest that you get when you're questing throughout Wizard City from Baldur Goldpaws, and pretty much what that is it's a trial run, sort of Grizzleheim. You kind of just come here, you come to Northgard to talk to a few NPCs. I believe they are the shopkeepers that are present, yeah, in this little main hall right here. But this isn't a hall, what am I talking about? This little main area here with all the shops. Yeah, you just talk to each one of the shopkeepers, and you need to like set up trade offers between Wizard City and Grizzleheim or something like that, something along those lines. But the reason why Northgard itself sticks out in my head a lot is because as a kid doing that quest, and this was back, just remember, this was back in the time that I didn't have any sort of membership or crowns, didn't really know anything beyond Wizard City, and I got to go to this amazing Nordic world. The thing is though, after you were done with that specific Grizzleheim quest line, it would log you out of the world, or no, it wouldn't log you out of the world. You might have had to, as part of the quest, actually take the boat right there. And then you'd go back to Wizard City, and then you couldn't come back to Grizzleheim until you were level 20. So that was really disappointing as a kid, and that's kind of why it sticks in my mind. But of course, Grizzleheim is a great world that I have a lot of happy nostalgia for. Coming up next on the list is going to be Pegasus Place in Wisteria. Now, this area is nostalgic to me for really just one reason in particular, and that sole reason is because the quests here are super duper memorable. For me as a child, Wisteria was a world that I had pretty much always loved, pretty much from the get-go when I had first entered the world. But something about Pegasus Place, I'm not really sure why. I honestly don't know. I really could not tell you why I remember the quest line so much and why this area sticks out to me the most and why I have the most nostalgia for it. I really don't know, besides the fact that I just have a lot of memories here, I suppose. I remember looking at the Tower of the Elephant, you know, being like a level 20 or 30 wizard, whatever level I was, just like wanting to go in there so bad. I remember wanting to know where the little goblin portal that I believe was like set up somewhere around here, course, it's not here anymore because I did do the questline on this character. But I remember wondering where that portal actually came from, how the goblins made it, where it led to, all of that stuff. And then there was also another, yeah, there was the Pegasus area up here that the Pegasus is flying around. You know, that stuck out to me too. And then there was also the Crystal Tower where I died to Lord Graustark. Yeah, it was very, very unfortunate, but for some reason this whole area of Pegasus Place really does stand out to me. It is an extremely nice area in its own right, but I suppose I was just a kid, had a lot of fun questing through this area in particular, and it has just stuck in my head for quite some time. So yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for Pegasus Place. Let's move on to the next area. Coming up next, I know I revisit this dungeon a lot, okay? Just please don't fight me in the comments. Anyways, though, coming up next is going to be the Great Spire dungeon, the final dungeon of Dragon Spire, the dungeon that contains the Great Malastare, where you have been chasing for pretty much all of the first arc, in a very tiring attempt to, I suppose, stop him from summoning the Dragon Titan and destroying the Spiral. Yeah, it's kind of funny. You know, as a kid, I had seen Malastare in all sorts of commercials. He was kind of like the icon of the game for me, besides Ambrose, of course. I had seen him in a lot of commercials. I had always wondered if I was ever going to defeat him, because really, with the amount of worlds that Wiz had already had, even though it wasn't even that many, I mean, the first arc's not even really that long, but I guess as a kid, it just seems a lot longer for whatever reason. I don't really know. I had always wondered whether I would have actually ever defeated him or not, and also how powerful he was, because at that time, I had never killed Malastare before. And then, of course, one day, you know, God, one day I actually had managed to, you know, make the climb from Dragon Spire Academy to the Great Spire, and actually a level 60 myth friend that I had made at the time tagged along with me. And it was just the most fun. It was some of the most fun that I had ever had inside of the game, because I knew that I was super close to defeating Malastare, and I knew that would be an incredible milestone, just an incredible achievement in my wizarding career. So I was really excited to accomplish that, and I did. Long story short, I did. I defeated him. I was super duper proud of myself. I was really happy, actually, for pretty much that entire day afterward. So you can see it had a pretty big effect on me as a child, so that will forever stick in my head. And of course that makes the Great Spire, since it contains the character of Malastare, one of the most nostalgic places ever in this game. Last but certainly not least is going to be the Keep of the Ganon dungeon in Avalon. So this is, I believe, the final dungeon of Avalon. It contains the final bosses of the Black Dragon and the White Dragon. And the reason why this place is so nostalgic for me is I actually have a very distinct memory of pretty much, hold on, okay, let's try not to get pulled by these guys here, these hard lancers. But I have a very distinct memory of actually, you know, yanking these Sword of Kings from that little rock there, because pretty much for the duration of Avalon, the entire duration of me questing through it, we had heard about the mythical Sword of Kings and how King Artorias wielded it and everything. And I had wanted the wand. I had wanted the wand for so long. I really liked the appearance of it. I still do. I had liked the appearance of it. I still do now, of course. But of course, the wand itself is very bad. I think at the time, though, it was actually okay, because I did end up equipping it because it was better than the one that I did have on my fire. Don't ask me how I remember that. But pretty much, like I said, for the whole duration of questing through Avalon, I had wanted the Sword of Kings. I had desired it so badly, so the fact that we did get it actually at the end of Avalon very much pleased me. It very much pleased me, not to mention that the Keep of the Ganon is just an awesome dungeon. It really is, and I had a lot of fun while questing through it. Of course, Avalon as a world for me is very nostalgic, because it was released a very long time ago when I was a young boy, and it definitely was one of my favorites. And even though it was one of my favorite worlds and I really enjoyed questing through it, I was anxious to finish it. So it was more so, I mean, even more the reason, I suppose, that I was excited for this Keep of the Ganon dungeon. Let me just say, it did not disappoint. But anyways, that is going to be it for this video, everyone. I really hope you guys did enjoy just me talking about some of the most nostalgic places in the game for me. Let me know yours in the comments down below. I would love to hear all of your memories about certain places within the game. Yeah, it would make me really happy. But anyways, though, if you did enjoy, you could always leave a like or subscribe. And yeah, that's pretty much going to be it for me, everyone. I'll see you on the next video or stream, whenever that may be. So take care and peace out, guys.